This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, I'm Sabrina Brown. It's great to have you with us. It's not a new idea, but one that was brought to the forefront some time ago as a means to build the Grand Bahama economy. However, it was faced with overwhelming opposition and the plan was put on hold. Now it's back on the agenda once again, and those pushing the idea are hoping that public perception of the proposed Grabaco Bridge has changed. Shashina Roll has a report.
Now that plans to construct a new bridge across the Grand Lucayan waterway have finally gotten the green light, Principal of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, Sir Jack Hayward, is once again entertaining the idea of a bridge from Grand Bahama to Abaco. The bridge, which will be called Grabaco, is a thought that he says he has already expressed to the government.
I was with the Prime Minister a few weeks ago, and the Deputy Prime Minister was with him, and Obi Wolscombe, a very friendly meeting. And they said, how's the bridge coming along? And I said, which one? And they said, the Grabaco Bridge. I said, my God, are you in favor of that? They said, very much so.
But there is one major problem. Abaconians have already expressed a strong opposition to a bridge.
I remember some years ago going to Abaco with Doug Silvera, Dusty Miller, a variety of people from Freeport who could have helped and so on. And we had a town hall meeting in Abaco, and we were nearly stoned. The Abaconians didn't want a bridge at all, and their theory was that if you made it easier for Grand Bahamians to get to Abaco, then that should be resisted at all costs, because all the bad people going into Abaco to do burglaries and things like that were from Grand Bahama, just as we in Grand Bahama think all the bad people are from Nassau.
But Sir Jack remains optimistic about this dream project, which he believes will be beneficial for many reasons.
I still think it makes tremendous sense to join the two islands and let the fruit and vegetables of Abaco go quickly across to the container port or the harbor, the roll-on, roll-off, be in Florida in a matter of hours, rather than all that tortuous sea journey around the top of Grand Bahama to Pompano Beach or wherever they go. And of course, I would love to have a weekend in Marsh Harbor, and I'd love to go across, pay my toll, and go to Marsh Harbor, have a nice quiet weekend, and drive back. It'd be absolutely wonderful. And if there's going to be a big hospital here serving the northern Bahamas, how convenient for the ambulances to drive across there, and instead of helicopters and goodness knows what and Nassau. And College of the Bahamas, it all makes sense to join the two islands. But I think we probably have a selling job to do on the Abaconians.
The Utilities Regulation and Competition Authority, IRCA, is working to implement regulations to protect consumers of electronic communications services in the country. IRCA's Chief Executive Officer Kathleen Rivera-Smith says billing procedure is a focus as they move to ensure that consumers benefit from the highest possible standards of service provided by licensees.
The format of the bill must be simple so that your customers can understand. Okay? That's critical. Because if the majority of us in this room cannot understand our bills, we have a problem. Okay? Itemization of charges. You need to break it down for me. If I'm getting internet plus TV plus phone from you, don't just put in the bill $150 due. I need to know what I'm paying for.
The IRCA executive says timeline for the issuance of bills is another factor.
What we're proposing is within a month of the bill cutoff period, you should have those bills out. So if you're billing me at the end of each month or the 15th of each month, if it's at the end of the month, no later than the 30th, 31st of the month, except for February. If you're billing me for the 15th of the month, by the 15th of the month, the following month, I should be able to have my bill.
Representatives from the Adaptation Fund Group were on Grand Bahama today. The organization helps developing countries in adapting to efforts of climate change and to become resilient to its effects. Marcia Lavaghi and Angela Churi Kalahagi say the Adaptation Fund has spent $190 million on 29 projects worldwide.
In the Caribbean region, we have a project in Jamaica implemented by a national implementing entity, because one of the characteristics of the fund is that it provides direct access to its resources to entities from developing countries that go through an accreditation process and are considered able and capable to manage their own resources for the implementation of projects without the intermediation of developing banks.
We've had a chance in the couple of hours that we have had off to see the damage of salination and hurricanes to the forest on the island, to see the erosion on the coastal areas, clearly the impacts of climate change that we are actually working towards providing support for.
Senator Tanisha Tynes was present during the meeting. She says the seminar was educational and she agrees that efforts must be made to protect the environment.
You would have noticed over the years with the hurricanes damaging, in particular, Grand Bahama, sea erosion and like the sea surges coming from the northern side of the island that affected the pine forests. You know, we need to find ways to protect our island, in particular Grand Bahama, and the entire country.
Island outsourcers will host a job fair this weekend for over 100 positions in their new call center that is set to begin operations in Grand Bahama early November. The full-day event is scheduled for the Pelican Bay Convention Center on Saturday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Positions being offered include call center agents, business unit supervisors, workforce managers, training managers, and operations managers. Island Outsourcers is a comprehensive business process outsourcing solution that manages contact center and back office functions for local and U.S.-based companies. With the government's plans to establish Grand Bahama as the base for the Ministry of Tourism's digital platform, the new BPO will facilitate the relocation of the ministry's former Miami-based call center to Grand Bahama. The BPO firm will launch its operations with over 100 employees and aims to increase its workforce to some 600 persons as it expands in the future. In other news tonight, police need your help in locating a man wanted on armed robbery charges. He is 42-year-old Yukel Bain, a.k.a. Zebra Bain. He is known to live in Mayfield Park, South Beach in New Providence, and Fresh Creek in Andros. Bain is of dark brown complexion, about 6 feet 2 inches tall, 180 pounds, with brown eyes, and has a scar over his right eye. Police say Bain is considered armed and extremely dangerous and should be approached with caution. Police are continuing the search for 32-year-old Henrique Jr. Francois of Churchill Drive. He is wanted on illegal firearm and ammunition charges. Francois is of brown complexion with brown eyes, about 170 and 190 pounds, and stands between 5 feet 7 inches and 5 feet 10 inches tall. If you have any information on the whereabouts of Henrique Jr. Francois or 42-year-old Yukel Bain, a.k.a. Zebra Bain, you should call 352-1919, 351-9111, 911-919, or the nearest police station.
Bringing news that matters to you. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition.
Welcome back. It's that time of year when public servants will be highlighted for their contributions to the sector and retirees will be honored. The Northern Region Public Service Week Planning Committee, along with the Ministry of the Public Service, preparing to celebrate the 14th Annual Public Service Week and recognition of retirees September 29th through October 5th. Under the theme In Focus, Celebrating Our Past, Building the Present, and Moving Towards the Future. Committee Chairperson Laurie Bullard.
It's important that we celebrate Public Service Week and recognize our retirees annually. As I mentioned earlier, the individuals who have retired have served 25 years and some as much as 40 years. And that's dedicated and committed service to the Bahamas government and to our country. And we want them to know that they are appreciated. Their service is being recognized for their commitment and dedication. And we want to wish them well as they go further or turn another page in their life.
Committee member J.R. Fraser says this year the celebrations will focus on the health and well-being of public servants.
In light of everybody's effort to maintain a healthy lifestyle, we thought that during the celebration, the week of celebration, we also did something to contribute to the wellness of our public servants here in Grand Bahama. And so we've organized the medical screening aspect of the walk, which is checking the blood pressure, checking your glucose, checking your cholesterol, also making certain that your body mass index is in line with what it should be, and encouraging persons to exercise on a daily basis. And so it's important for the public servants in particular, I'll be appealing to them to support us.
Public Service Week will begin with a service of Thanksgiving on Sunday at the Central Church of God at 11 a.m. An appreciation luncheon will be held on Friday, October 4th at the Grand Lucayan Resort. The fun walk and health screening will take place on Saturday, October 5th. The Grand Bahamas Shipyard making a donation that will assist in furthering the studies of students enrolled in one of its technical programs. Today, learning institutions specializing in welding were the recipients of welding rods. According to training manager Don Forbes, the rods are costly and many schools are not able to afford them.
First started out with enough rods to donate to all the government schools here on the island. But we learned after investigating that only one school that still has a program that is vibrant, which is the St. George's School. So we also, Total Education Center, which is an institute that actually trains other welders, and BTVI Homes, we share a partnership with. We decided also that we would donate the rods to them. One of the things is we realized that a lot of the rods that we are donating, the schools in the institute here really don't weld with those rods. But it's important for them to get familiar with these rods because obviously in order to work in the shipyard, these are the rods that we use. And the earlier the students get familiar with these rods, the better welder they would become. Obviously would be making them a candidate for employment here in the shipyard.
Among the schools to receive the welding rods were St. George's High School, BTVI, and the Total Educational Center.
I know the welding program is very challenged in terms of financially. We have an excellent program there. We have a number of students that we're training. In fact, we have like about 60 students in the welding program. And it's one of the programs where students are flocking. But one of the challenges is finances in terms of having the electrodes, and so this donation really is going to go a very long way.
This donation definitely goes to help further industrial education. That theme has been echoed in the room throughout the morning as we have been here, and I'm sure that everyone involved and who are receiving the donations understand the importance of it further in the education.
On behalf of Total Educational Center and West Grand Bahama Development Association, we thank the shipyard for this generous donation.
The shipyard hopes that the rods will enhance the students' skills and better prepare them for the workforce. The Bishop Michael Eldon School held its annual awards day this morning in the school's auditorium under the theme Engage, Educate, and Empower. Top academic achievers were honored for the accomplishments in external exams, and they were also presented with school awards. Principal Anita Doherty was beaming with pride as she acknowledged the significant strides the school has made in education.
Excellent. It's such a wonderful feeling to hear the head boy get the charge and for our students to display all the talents that they have and to be rewarded at the end of the day for an excellent job that they did last year. You know, we're all so very, very proud of our kids, and we just wanted to let them know we appreciate them and in a tangible way so everyone can see and celebrate with them because they deserve all the accolades and stuff that we're going to give them this morning.
Doherty says her challenge going forward is to maintain a high standard of academic achievements of which parents, educators, and students could all be proud.
The ACA, there are 4 schools within the system, and our mandate this year is to get better. And so there are strategies that we have in place to improve those areas that we know need improvement. But certainly, the staff, they're up to the challenge, and if you raise the bar for our kids, they're sure going to try and climb over it, as many of them did in this past school year.
Well, don't go away. Megan Shepard is up next with sports.